Hello.
I'm Vicki-Jane, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
And how can I help you today?
Well, we're looking for a different style of wigs than what I normally wear.
Okay.
So I'm wondering if you could show me some different styles and how I could look after it, and whether it's best to buy a human hair one or synthetic, and maybe something to do with a lace front or something like that.
Okay.
But I'm in your hands, so.
Brilliant, fantastic.
Okay.
So do you usually go for a long style?
Usually, yeah.
Okay, and why would that be?
Because of my shoulders.
Okay.
And my face.
Okay.
And I just want something that will cover all that. But I'm interested in lots of different styles. So
okay, fantastic.
you can try some different ones,
Well,
different
we've
colours.
got plenty here, so.
Sure, okay.
Okay, and you like to have a fringe?
Yes, but not always.
Okay.
It just depends on the style.
Okie dokie. And have you always been a blondie?
Always.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm ready for a change.
Oh, fantastic. Well, let me go and find a few bits and pieces. I'll get some lace fronts. I think lace fronts are really important because when the wind blows, you don't want to see any join. You want it to look like that hair's coming out from your scalp.
Okay.
So I'll go up the back and find some, and I'll be back in a moment.
All right, thank you very much.
So I've got a few to try. So I've got one that's really similar to what you have, but a slightly different colour.
Okay.
So I think it's really important to get the right skin tone. Rooted colours are my favourite because they bring a bit of depth. A few highlights. I've brought a wild card. I've brought a shorter style as well. So if we could start by popping a wig cap on. So rule of thumb is hairline is 4 fingers from your brow bone.
Okay.
So there, is that
roughly
where
right.
you would?
Yeah.
Roughly. You just pop your finger there. Fantastic. Let's massage it in. Okay. So this is Shilo. And Shilo, she doesn't have a fringe, but you can personalise. Then you've got 2 tabs on the side here, already known, and you can just pop it in the middle. Okay. Yeah, see, that's beautiful. Opens up your cheekbones. It's a bit of a softer colour. You've got a slight root there.
Yeah.
Have a little.
Is this one you can
tie up?
Tie up?
Yeah, absolutely. So this one's lovely to tie up because you've got the different lengths in there. So what I would generally do is pop a little bit of baby hair through, maybe a slight fringe or a bit of baby hair. Just so it looks more realistic when it's up. Because I find most people would wear their wigs down, but there's no reason to. Synthetic wigs, you can put pins in and you can put grips in. Whereas human hair, for example, you wouldn't put pins in the foundation of a human hair because you would probably damage it. Whereas these are really robust. So.
And what sort of lifespan do you get out of a synthetic wig compared to a human one?
Okay, so it depends on the length of the synthetic wig as well. You'll find a long synthetic wig might last 4 months. It might last 6 if you look after it really, really well. But they do get friction frizz through clothing. As soon as it's rubbing on your clothing, you're going to find you get friction frizz, especially if you don't use your aftercare products. The lifespan is going to shorten. If you wear it to bed, it's going to half the lifespan of it. So there's lots of things to take into consideration.
That's something I've suffered with it going all from the heat.
Yes, on the back of your neck. Yeah. So regular brushing, soft and sheen spray, which is a leave-in conditioner, will just give it more bounce, give it more body, give it more life, really.
And how often should you wash it? After you've worn it once, or?
No. If you're an everyday wearer, which I find most people will have an abundance of wigs and use them at different times. If you're wearing them every day, probably once every 10 days to 2 weeks.
Oh, okay.
So you could probably go quite some time if you go in between wigs.
I've been told you should never use a hairdryer. Is that right?
Yeah, not on a synthetic wig. Also, I think a lot of things we can forget about is the oven, cooking.
Right.
The wigs don't like 200-degree heat. So, you know, we get lots of people coming in that say, oh, my wig's sizzled. 200-degree heat is not good. No hairdryer. The great thing about synthetic wigs is once they are cold set, so this has got a bit of a wave in it, or a curlier wig, it's not going anywhere. So you wash it, you pop it on your poly head, brush it into place and leave it, and then in the morning give it a shake and you're back to the beginning. Whereas a human hair, yes, it's got the appearance and it moves and it is a beautiful product, but you've got to style it. So if it rains outside, your hair's going to go flat, it might go frizzy, you're going to have to blow dry it again, straighten it again, curl it again. If you get wet outside with this on, you're going to have the best hair out there, because as soon as it dries, it's just going to go back into form.
Yeah.
So you can just see, just taking this back away from your face. If you popped a little bit of baby hair through there, there's no reason why you couldn't wear that up. And it opens your face up as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I quite like that.
We want to open those cheekbones up, not hide them away.
Yeah, true.
What do you think about the colour?
Yeah, I love the colour.
Have a little play around. I'll grab your brush. Don't be scared of it either.
So is this the right sort of brush to? Because I've got brushes at home and sometimes you put them through it and they get tangled so easily. This one's got like little pimples on them.
Yeah, you've got the little nodules on the end and that just stops it from, or one break in the hair. And it opens up. You can brush it a lot easier. It doesn't tangle. And don't be scared of it either. And anti-static as well, which is important.
Yeah. Oh, I'll have to invest in one of these because the one I've got at home, it's you can wreck your wig with the wrong brush. Yeah, this is really easy.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I really like that.
And because you've got the cold set curl in there, when you brush it, yes, it takes out the curl a little bit, but then you've got a wave in there, and it's not going anywhere. Right, so the next one, I'm going to try something of a similar colour, but slightly shorter. This might be going to work or whatever. But it will probably last a little longer because it hasn't got the length.
Yeah.
What I find is some people like to get one a bit shorter and one a bit longer, so they can do that. I've just had my hair cut. Okay, it's 8-12 weeks on, and then they alternate them. That's enough. Okay, so this next one is a Kenzie. Kenzie's really, really popular in the salon because it's just so diverse.
And do you remember all the names of the different wigs that you've got? Because they're all women's names. So
yes, some are numbered, some are numbered, and some are.
Do you find that easier to remember?
The names are easier, I think, to remember than numbers. I have a key guide in the back room that tells me all the lengths, and I do remember most of them. Just need to pop this back a little bit more. So Kenzie doesn't have a lace front, but she does have a lot of movement in there.
Yeah.
And the fringes come longer, so you can either have them as a side fringe, or you can get it personalised and have it cut. But this one's got movement in it. It's like you've just been to the hairdressers and had your blow dry. It's a really lovely colour with a slight root as well.
I like the fact that though you've got this, the fringe is quite long, Because some wigs you buy, the really cheap ones, they've got like a curtain that comes down just, and then you try and style it and it's impossible. Whereas this, you can, you
really move it around.
Yeah, you can move it around. Yeah, that's really good. Is it a big no-no to use hairspray?
You can use hairspray, thank you. You can use any products on your wig. We recommend using products that are specifically made for fibre. And also you've got more of a guarantee then. If you using any product, alcohol-based product on your hair, on your wig, then you don't know how that's going to react to the wig. So we have our favourite products that we would suggest, and then it's up to you whether or not you want to get those. I'm going to show you the back.
Oh yeah.
It's lovely, isn't it?
Yeah. I like the colour.
It's really nice when there's different tones running through.
Yeah.
And that root as well.
And it's quite light as well, I noticed.
Really, really light. And also, what I like to suggest to people is, okay, if it's going to last you 6 months, come in after 2-3 months and have a trim on it.
Yeah. Have
a conditioning treatment, we'll wash it, we'll set it, and we can trim it for you. Because there's no point in just discarding a wig. It can have a little bit of personalisation and it gives it a bit more of a revamp. Okay. But it doesn't necessarily mean it's going to last any longer than the recommended time, but it just makes it look nicer for the duration. Okay.
And you obviously deal with a lot of different customers.
Yes.
And you obviously welcome people like myself.
Everybody.
Everybody.
There's no judgment when you walk through these doors. Everybody's welcome.
Oh, that's good.
Absolutely. It's all about styling. we all need a bit of styling. It'd be quite nice to. Okay, so the next one's a wild card. So this is probably completely different from anything that you've tried on so far. Have you ever had a shorter straight?
I haven't. I generally don't wear shorter straight, but as I said, I'm quite happy to try something different.
Yeah.
But the colour's interesting, and I like the roots.
That's fantastic. So this is a smoky grey R. It's new in at the moment by Amore. I'll just show you the foundation of this. So it's nice and stretchy. You've got a machine wefting here. You've got a beautiful mono with silk.
Okay. Oh yeah.
So that means anywhere within that horseshoe, you can move the parting. So you can see scalp through.
Yeah.
Anywhere there. So a lot of people would put a wig on and say, oh no, it's not in the right parting, or I have it over that way. Just move it over. And then you've got that nice thick piece of lace. So again, when the wind blows, that is coming straight out from your scalp.
That's interesting because a lot of wigs I've tried in the past have got lace, but they come with like 2 or 3 inches of lace, and you have to cut it.
Yes.
But this is already trimmed.
Trimmed down.
Yeah.
And of course, when you're cutting lace, it can fray.
Yeah.
Whereas these have been.
So that's the main difference.
Formulated to stop there. I mean, and you can always trim them when they get into the end of their life. Trim them down a little bit, but that's a nice chunky bit of lace there. So let's try this one on.
Okay.
So this one's Vader.
As in Darth.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just make sure you're in the middle there.
Oh yeah, I like that. That's really cool.
It's a nice colour on there.
Yeah.
Actually, that movement in the fringe there is beautiful.
Yeah, I really like that. I like the way we've got the the parting here.
Just shifts the balance
Yeah.
in for a bit.
And you can put it wherever you want. So if you wanted a middle
absolutely.
one. Okay.
And it does change the look when you change the
Yeah.
parting. Pop it over there, that's nice over there.
Yeah, I prefer that. That looks really good. I've never tried this colour before, and this, although this is shorter than what I'd normally wear, it's really cool. I like
Frames
that.
your face.
Yeah,
in all the
definitely.
right places, it's lovely.
Yeah,
And you've got this
yeah,
lovely lace front here. And of course, not everybody will wear a wig cap. Most people, when it's their wig, they won't wear a wig cap because then it feels
yeah.
more like theirs. It's lovely. I'll show you the back. See, I would personally put on you a few little layers through the back. Not too many, but just to give it a little movement there. It's a good length. And what you'll find are this will have more longevity than your longer wigs.
Yeah.
You might get a little bit of friction frizz on the ends, but using the products, it's going to prolong the life. It's lovely.
That's really nice. It feels really. You can, as I say, you can feel the quality, the difference between a cheap wig and something like this. Yeah.
Okay.
I like that.
It's always nice to try something a bit different. We all tend to stick to the same thing, don't we? What we know and what we know works for us. But trying something different, you might surprise yourself. And I think that's why it's important to come and see a stylist.
Yeah.
There's lots of option online, but you don't get that one-to-one. You don't get someone saying you've got lovely cheekbones. What styles for you? What colours for you? Have you thought of this? And that's invaluable.
Because for me, I've only ever bought wigs most of the time online, and as you say, when you see it online on somebody else, you think, oh, that looks good. But when you get it and you put it on, it'll either look good or it'll look really bad.
Absolutely.
And you just wasted your money.
And time.
And it's nice to come to someone who can give you some their experience and their opinion about what looks good on you, because it is important when you walk outside the door that it looks right.
And you feel
top.
Feel good on top, absolutely. If I have a client that doesn't walk out with a smile, then I often get them to sit back down again. Okay, so this is another new style. I thought I'd try a bit of a curly number on you, something a little bit shorter. It's got a lovely soft root, but it gives it depth.
Yeah, it's got a bit of curl. Yeah.
And it goes slightly lighter at the bottom as well. And again, the foundation of this, with the new Amore, is you've got your monofilament silk top and your lace again. And that last one seemed to fit you really well.
Yeah.
And Amore and Noriko, I find, are really good for fitting average to larger sizes, because they're quite stretchy.
So you do different makes. You mentioned Noriko and...
We do, yeah, we do. So
what brands are there that you do?
Okay, so Trendco, we have our own brands. You get a lot put into it. So for example, I'll show you one of our Send 2 collections. So on a similar basis, it's quite stretchy. So they fit all different types, sizes of head. You've got machine wefted. You've got your monofilament, slightly larger than the others, and your lace front. But something extra you get in the Send 2 is it's hand knotted on the crown. And some people find on the crown, when it's machine wefted, it's quite bulky for some people. The hand knotted, it just fits to your head, so it's breathable. I feel I like that as well.
Oh wow, yeah. That
Just got a few extra bits to it. So we have Trendco's Send 2 collection. We also have the new Lotus by Send 2. We have Wille, Noriko, Amore, High Fashion, Premium Plus. We have, and then human hair. We have so many. We have thousands and thousands of wigs. What I find when people come in is to ask them about their lifestyle, what it is that they want, and we usually boil it down to about 4 or 5, and go from there. It's a process of elimination, really.
So if you get someone who comes in with they've got an idea what they want to start with, can they work to a price point so that they can only afford so much, and
Absolutely.
And then so you can look at, well, this range costs this much, we can try all those on, or if you want to go a little bit more, so yeah, because
Absolutely.
For me, obviously you look at the top end and you think, wow, I really love that, but it's a bit out of my price range.
Realistic.
But if you've got lots of different ranges, lots of different prices, you're going to walk away with what you want.
Absolutely. And I'm happy for people to tell me their budget. It's not something that I ask. What I would do is bring out a few wigs, all of different price ranges. If people are on a budget, they would usually say, and we welcome that, and it helps me then say, okay, well, we'll stick within this budget. It's absolutely fine. We have wigs from £80, this is for a synthetic, £80, all the way to a high heat fibre, which you can blow dry and you can straighten, for £500. And then human hair starts the gem collection from which are made by Trendco, unstyled, so you would get a stylist to style them. They start from these prices here, so 635, 420, 505 for the shorter styles, and that can go up to 2,000 plus.
And do you do, if someone comes in and wants a specific style, is that something that you could arrange to be made? Or?
Absolutely, yeah. We work a lot with custom made and bespoke pieces. So we would invite you in for an hour consultation. We'd go into a private room and we would discuss what it is that you were looking for. And then if you wanted to book a second appointment, we would do a template. We would design your wig from start to finish, the colour, the density, what kind of hair. Then it takes 3 months to get made. It will come back and then we would style it for you. So it is the full package. It's not something that I would offer somebody sitting in this chair unless they wanted something very specific.
No, it's just to get an idea. It's good that you cover everything. And all different styles and all different prices and all different requirements. Like if you see some beautiful wigs on television with the actresses wear, and you can, especially period pieces, and you can see that wig has cost a lot of money to make.
Absolutely.
And it's really interesting.
And it's looking after it is really important. But as well as wigs, we have enhancers, toppers, integration systems, so you can pull your own hair through. We have an abundance of alternative hair, and I think it's can be quite a nerve-wracking thing to begin with, but once you sit down and in one of our chairs and we have a consultation with you, hopefully when that person's left, it'll just open their mind and be a lot easier to then come in for what they need. But usually an hour consultation with a synthetic is a good amount of time. So let's pop that one back. So let's try this one on. Give them a little bit of a shake. Now in terms of putting the wig on, I'm going to let you do this one, if that's okay. Everybody has their own ways of doing things. What I think is easy, especially for first timers, is just to hold the back. Yeah. And then dive in.
I normally hold the ears.
Do you? Okay.
But anyway.
Fantastic. And then you've got your 2 tabs on the side. You just make sure they're in the middle.
That's what I call the ears.
Grab the ears. Wow.
I'm just going to put my 3 fingers. Is it
4?
4 fingers?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about right.
That's really stunning.
Yeah, I like that.
Colour, the movement.
Yeah.
And also I find with the curlier wigs, you can actually tie them up a lot easier without having to be too specific in how you're doing it. You know, just kind of grab it there, you stick a pin.
Yeah.
I would add some more baby hair in there for you. That's lovely. Gorgeous lace front there. And you could also put a bit of powder or foundation just on the hairline there to blend it into your own.
Yeah. I do that with some of the lace wigs I've got, which we were saying earlier about the gap. And I have to stick that down with special glue, theatrical glue.
Okay.
And then, which is a pain to take off. But without it, if you're wearing a really long wig with the weight, you've got to hold it down.
You want to make sure it's secure.
But no, I like the fact this is so much better than what I'm used to.
Let me grab a mirror. And what do you think about the colour?
Yeah, colour suits me. Yeah.
You just got all that movement. And pulling that to the side.
Yeah.
There's no reason why you couldn't put that up, or in a low bun, or you know, there's so much you can do. It's doing it once, I think, then having the confidence to know you're not going to pull the wig apart. They're robust.
No, I really like that one. Yeah, it's cool.